Imagine a world where the balance of power was tipped by hunger, where the cries for liberty and equality echoed through palace walls, and where an entire nation stood on the brink of collapse, only to emerge as a beacon of change for the modern world. Welcome to the story of the French Revolution, a time of upheaval and transformation, where ordinary people dared to challenge centuries of monarchy and privilege. This was more than just a chapter in history. It was a battle of ideas, a fight for justice, and the birth of a new era. In this video, we'll uncover the causes, key events, and the legacy of the French Revolution. From the opulence of Versailles to the chaos of the Reign of Terror and the rise of a military genius named Napoleon Bonaparte, this is a story of revolution, resilience, and reform. So grab a seat and join us as we journey back to 18th century France, to a time when the world as we know it was forever changed. Let's dive in. Economic crisis and debt. By the late 18th century, France's economy was in shambles. Decades of financial mismanagement and participation in costly wars, especially the American Revolutionary War, had drained the treasury. King Louis XVI inherited a nation burdened by debt, and his attempts at financial reform were largely ineffective. This financial instability exacerbated social tensions, especially among the lower classes who bore the brunt of taxation. The role of Enlightenment thinkers. Enlightenment philosophers like Rousseau, Voltaire, and Montesquieu questioned traditional authority and promoted ideas of individual rights, equality, and the separation of powers. Their works inspired the French people to challenge the divine right of kings, an ideology that had legitimized monarchic rule for centuries. Instead, they envisioned a society where governance was based on reason and the consent of the governed. Social inequality. French society was divided into three estates: the clergy, the nobility, and the commoners. While the first two enjoyed privileges and paid little to no taxes, the commoners, representing over 90% of the population, shouldered the economic burden. Famines and rising bread prices created widespread hunger and discontent among the peasantry and urban poor. This economic disparity highlighted the glaring inequality within French society and fueled demands for reform. The call for change against this backdrop of economic hardship and intellectual awakening, the common people began organizing to demand change. The Estates General was convened in 1789, but the Third Estate, commoners, broke away to form the National Assembly, signaling the beginning of revolutionary action. Key moments like the Tennis Court Oath and the storming of the Bastille symbolized the growing determination of the French people to challenge the existing order and seek a more equitable society. The combination of economic struggles, ideological shifts, and social inequality created a perfect storm for revolution. The idea that the people, not monarchs, were the true source of sovereignty gained traction. This period saw an unprecedented questioning of long-standing institutions and traditions, which ultimately led to the dismantling of the monarchy and the establishment of the French Republic. Neighboring monarchies' fear of revolution. The revolutionary fervor spreading across France was not confined to its borders. The seismic changes, such as the abolition of feudal privileges, the rise of a republican government, and the execution of King Louis XVI, sent shockwaves throughout Europe. Monarchies in neighboring countries such as Austria and Prussia saw these developments as direct threats to their power and stability. They feared that revolutionary ideas, liberty, equality, fraternity, would inspire uprisings within their own realms, potentially overthrowing centuries-old systems of aristocracy and monarchy. Austria and Prussia were the first to respond, forming a coalition aimed at suppressing the French Revolution and restoring the monarchy. Their alliance was based on shared interests, safeguarding the existing political order and preventing revolutionary ideologies from undermining their authority. The Declaration of Pillnitz in 1791, issued jointly by the Austrian Emperor Leopold II and King Frederick William II of Prussia, expressed their intent to intervene militarily if necessary to protect the French monarchy. France declares war. In April 1792, revolutionary France took a bold and defiant step by declaring war on Austria. This declaration was influenced by several factors. Internal political pressure. The revolutionaries in France saw war as a way to unify the nation against a common enemy, solidify their power, and protect the gains of the revolution. Preemptive strategy. France believed that conflict with Austria was inevitable and chose to strike first rather than wait for an invasion. Spreading revolutionary ideals. Revolutionary leaders also viewed war as an opportunity to export their ideals of freedom and equality across Europe. The start of the French Revolutionary Wars. This declaration marked the beginning of a decade-long conflict that would engulf much of Europe. Initially, France's armies were poorly trained and equipped, and their leadership lacked cohesion. The French forces suffered early setbacks, as Austria and Prussia had professional armies with superior organization and experience. The Battle of Valmy. This battle took place on September 20th, 1792, in northeastern France. It marked a critical moment for the nascent French Republic. At the time, France faced invasion by Prussian and Austrian forces, who aimed to suppress the revolution and restore the monarchy. The significance of Valmy. Though it was not a large-scale battle, the moral and symbolic impact of Valmy was immense. The Revolutionary Army, composed largely of volunteers, managed to hold off the professional Prussian forces. The French artillery, directed by commanders like François Kellermann and Charles Dumouriez, played a crucial role in repelling the enemy. The victory at Valmy boosted the morale of the French revolutionary forces and demonstrated that the new government could defend itself against external threats. Aftermath. The day after the battle, the French National Convention formally abolished the monarchy, declaring France a republic. Valmy thus became a turning point in legitimizing the revolution. The siege of Toulon, a major French naval base, had fallen into the hands of royalist forces who allied with the British Navy. The city's strategic importance made its recapture vital for the revolutionaries. At just 24 years old, a young artillery officer named Napoleon Bonaparte was assigned to the siege. Napoleon's tactical genius. Napoleon devised a strategy to place artillery on key positions surrounding the city, cutting off British reinforcements and supplies. His ability to maximize the effectiveness of artillery turned the tide of the siege. On December 19, 1793, revolutionary forces successfully retook Toulon. This victory showcased Napoleon's military brilliance and marked the beginning of his meteoric rise in both the army and French politics. The siege not only secured a critical military victory, but also elevated Napoleon to national prominence. He was promoted to brigadier general shortly afterward and became a key figure in the revolution's military campaigns. Within France, the revolution spiraled into the Reign of Terror from 1793 to 1794. Led by the radical Jacobins under Robespierre, this period saw mass executions, including that of King Louis XVI and Queen Marie Antoinette. Revolutionary fervor devolved into paranoia, as thousands were guillotined on charges of treason. Though brutal, the Reign of Terror galvanized the revolutionary cause. It eliminated internal dissent and created a sense of urgency among citizens to defend the Republic from both internal and external enemies. By 1799, the revolution had set the stage for the emergence of one of history's most iconic figures, Napoleon Bonaparte. Born in Corsica, Napoleon rose rapidly through the military ranks thanks to his strategic brilliance and determination. His victories in campaigns like the Siege of Toulon and the Italian campaign solidified his reputation as a military prodigy. Through political acumen and a keen understanding of public sentiment, Napoleon maneuvered into a position of immense power. On November 9, 1799, he orchestrated the coup of 18 Brumaire, which dismantled the ineffective Directory and established the consulate, with Napoleon as first consul. While maintaining the rhetoric of revolutionary principles, he centralized authority, restored order, and enacted reforms that balanced revolutionary ideals with practical governance. Napoleon's rise marked a pivotal transition from the turbulent chaos of revolutionary France to a more stable and structured government. He became a symbol of both the aspirations and contradictions of the revolution, a leader who championed equality in law but concentrated power in his hands. The French Revolutionary War reshaped Europe. Feudal privileges were abolished, and ideas of democracy and nationalism took root. The Napoleonic Code, established later, influenced legal systems worldwide. Although the war ended in 1802 with the Treaty of Amiens, its effects reverberated through history. The French Revolution and its wars remain a testament to the power of ideas and the enduring fight for liberty and equality. From the streets of Paris to the battlefields of Europe, the French Revolutionary War forever altered the course of humanity. Its lessons remain as relevant today as they were over 2 centuries ago. And that, my friends, is the story of the French Revolution turning point in history that redefined the ideals of liberty, equality, and fraternity. It reminds us that even in the darkest of times, the courage to stand for change can shape the future. If you found this journey through history insightful, don't forget to show your support by liking this video and subscribing to the channel. It helps us continue bringing you stories that connect the past to the present. We love to hear your thoughts, too. What part of the French Revolution inspired or surprised you the most? Share your ideas in the comments below. Your perspective matters. Thank you for watching, and until next time, let's keep exploring the past to better understand our world today. See you in the next video.